Hello everyone. Good evening. The role of literacy in the development of country. Literacy and the knowledge-based society plays one of the very important and key roles in the development of any country. That is the reason many of the countries are trying their best to have an effective literates, knowledge-based society for their in-term development. If you look at the global scenario, the countries who are really rich as far as literacy is concerned, rich as far as knowledge people are concerned, they are being rich or they are in well position when compared to the countries which are being termed as underdeveloped countries, where you can absolutely find this difference in the literacy. That is one of the reasons, being the largest democratic country in the world, India is proposing a lot of plans to make fruitful its dream Viksit Bharat by 2047. If you look at our literacy rate and knowledge based society, of course there are so many factors, being the huge country having huge population, lots of threats and lots of breaks, and we have some constraints and political scenario that we are still moving towards excellence but not absolutely at excellent. So by recognizing facts, India is implementing so many plans by means of NAP 2020. We are implementing internationalization of education, digital university, lots of encouragements by the governments for the people to go for higher education in abroad, in India, by means of financial support and all, encouraging the entrepreneurs and the people coming to host these organizations. They are giving liberty to host their organizations with maximum inputs. They are giving academic flexibility and so on to provide the best literates to the country. And as a part of this, there are certain issues which we should concern when compared to the global survey. And if you look at our scenario, every year lakhs of people will go from each and every state for higher education to other countries with some financial support from the governments and of course based on their own. Most of them, in particular not only from India, from many of the Asian countries, they go for US, Australia, something like that. But if you look at the scenario of top rated literate countries where they are having rich well-being in the country, the US, even it's not being listed in top 10. There are the countries which are being as an evidence that their literacy, their knowledge source, their human resources are being responsible as a part for the development of country. The first one is being standard is South Korea. Everyone knows the products being developed from South Korea, like electronic goods, automobiles, and so on. These are all being generated from Korea, and how best they are having their market as far as global scenario is concerned. It's almost having 69% of literacy as far as the latest survey is concerned. It's being reflected in their wealth. And coming for the next, Canada, it's almost having 66%, where Canada is having its own role as a special for its globally recognized universities, higher learning organizations, and special set of educational institutions. And it creates its own speciality in the education system, and because of its human resources are being responsible for their wealth development. or their wealth creation. The next one, Japan, everyone knows, stands for innovative technologies. The Japanese, the human resources from the Japan are potent enough to stand before any kind of calamities for their immediate reflection for their sustainment, where it is being highly vulnerable for many of the natural calamities also. The Japan is also being stated as 65% of literacy. Its contribution for their wealth generation is very good. Its special technology, its well-known innovative technologies are being responsible because of their human resources. Next one is Ireland. It's almost all having 63%, where it is well known for many of the software organizations. They are being exploited throughout the globe and catering so many software services apart from other globe. Next one, Luxembourg. This is also standing with 63% of literacy, having its own role in wealth creation. Thing is, if you look at all these countries where they are being at the top 5 list, the literacy of female gender is more when compared to male gender. And of course, it's also based on the population statistics of the country. So next comes the UK is there, Netherlands is there, Norway is there, Australia is there, and US is not being listed among all these 10 also. But of course, US is very rich country because it is already settled. Why in fact we need to see all these things is the literacy with the proper or appropriate inculcation of skill and knowledge is very important in the generation of wealth and the progress of the country. So we are having lot of schemes and lot of plans. The proper sensitization is very much important. Fortunately, throughout the country this particular year, huge amount of intakes are taken place in all the streams like engineering, medicine. Of course, the data is supposed to be coming. It is expected to have the science teams so many. Now it is an opportunity for the educational institutions to utilize all the sources and to mitigate all the challenges and to ensure that their intake should convert as the best knowledge based, skill based outcomes, because the outcomes must cater to the best services by means of different roles as an employees. And of course, many of employers must be created, because by 2047, in case we want to absolutely become Viksit Bharat, huge count of entrepreneurs should be present in India. That means we should create the jobs not only for Indians, for outsiders. And we should concentrate and product so many services without hampering to the nature and environment. These are all definitely being responsible, and these things will happen only when we have knowledge base literates. So friends, it is an opportunity and a chance for us to ensure that to make our own inputs to become the best possible outcomes with appropriate skills and knowledge to meet the Indian expectations to the best. Thanks for watching. Jai Hind.